There are a couple more things that you can do when you're entering a remittance line. Okay, I'm just going to press Enter to open the line in edit mode. And I'm going to tab to the right. Of course, you can enter a comment. You can also enter up notes that will show up the next time you do a remittance for this particular employer, and it'll show up for that member. You can also take the member out of the employer. If you click here, it will remove the member from the employer in the previous accounting period. You can also change the status of the member. In particular, if you wanted to make them a non-member, you could click on N, and that would make them inactive. You can also have more than one group for a remittance if more than 1 month was being entered, for example. So let's do that. Add another group. Just do Fulton Software, and we'll do it for March. Hit Enter to save the group. Now, you probably wouldn't add a group like this on the fly. Normally you would add it at the beginning of the work, but you can. So we'll go up here and we'll rebuild the list of payments, which will add payment lines for the new month. So you'll see the extra lines have been added. Now you can order the remittance in different ways. Let's order it with group and then name. So that will put group 2 all together at the end of the remittance. So you see further on down the remittance, the lines all become 2s for group. Let's see if we can yeah, here's where we see the beginning of group 2. As you can see, there are other ways to sort as well. Often social insurance number is a way that the remittance is ordered, so it's useful to enter it in that way. So let's okay. Let's go right back to the beginning. And you'll see now that it's actually in social insurance number order. Sometimes it's convenient to hide the top part of the screen and just work with the grid at the bottom with the payments. There's a button up here that will either show or hide the data, depending on whether it's hidden or shown already. So I'll just click Show, and it shows the top part of the remittance form. If you click Hide, then it disappears again. Sometimes it's useful to be able to edit the member's data on the member screen. If you click here, it actually opens a new tab with the member information, which can be useful. You have to be a little careful about statuses. If you enter a status on the remittance, you should not enter a status in the status grid here. You're only allowed to have one status row per accounting period, which is usually a month. If you want to operate on all of the members for a remittance, in case there's some change that applies to all of them, you can also click on Members. And that actually brings up a member list with all the members from the remittance on it. It takes a bit. And then you can go into each one in turn, and you can actually step through the members in the remittance using these buttons up here. Which are described in the introduction video. Alright, let's so that's again in a separate tab. Two separate tabs, in fact. You've got the list and then the actual member update screen. Let's take a look at totals. Often people will enter the totals from the check and have the system total from the detail of the payments, and that will, when you're done, it will check to see if the two things match. It'll say totals match if they do. Let's make them not match, and you'll see that you get a red message in that case. One useful thing is reports you can generate from here. Some sites like to generate a remittance detail, which is basically the data from the remittance screens printed out. Now, exceptions is a list of members who owe dues, have invalid social insurance numbers or SSNs, or who are missing addresses, that sort of thing. Now, remember, details and payments, it's probably not used that much, but if you really need to look at the detailed information for all of the members on a remittance, then this report will do that for you. And if you just want to take a detailed look at all the members with exceptions, then this is the report to use. And let's take a look at one last thing. I'm going to close down the remittance update screen for the remittances that we added, and let's just take a look at the remittance list. And let's look at the remittances for Fulton Software. Here are all the remittances for the Fulton Software employer. You can see that all the remittances that are not finalized come first, as this message states. Now, among the remittances that are not finalized, they're listed in descending order by month, which is actually accounting period. And you'll notice that for our remittance that we just entered, it actually shows up twice, once for each month that's on the remittance. That allows you to do selections on month, and if you select it on month 2, you get Fulton 1602, and if you selected on month 03, 2016, you'd also get Fulton 1602. If there happens to be remittances with the same month that are ordered, then by employer. And that's it for this demo.